This is the arm for the chandelier. The nut retainer breaks off, and once it breaks off, you can make it clean and then take a 2-inch nipple Westinghouse that you can buy at a hardware store and slide the wires through. And make sure the wires are slid through and put it halfway in and mix the 2-part epoxy. This is the fast drying concrete metal. Use the concrete metal Loctite fast drying 2-part epoxy. Mix it, make it around the nipple and onto the arm, and make sure it stays flat, and then make sure it stays straight, and then let it dry and let it set up for 2 days, because this is pretty heavy, and then you'll be able to reinstall it and it won't break again. Entry hall coming from the house. So this is the first light panel that you'll see. Oops, there you go. So the light panel is set up to where scene 1 and scene 2 turn all the lights on in the ballroom. So when you hit scene 1 and hit scene 2, it turns all the lights on, and the all off button turns all the lights off. You don't have to touch any of the other ones. When the scene 1 and scene 2 lights are on, it shows you which lights are on by the green illumination above the button. So during gatherings or parties, all of these other ones have to be turned on individually and turned off individually. So the front landscape or back landscape or exterior have to be turned off individually, and the all off turns the rest of the lights off.
Okay, it's on.
This is the mechanical room that's upstairs above the ballroom.
That's upstairs.
This is the light touch controller that controls the lights in the ballroom. If you are totally scratching your head and nothing's working properly, unplug it. So you're going to reset it like a computer. Unplug it, wait 2 minutes, plug it back in, and it'll take about 5 minutes to reset, and then all your issues should be cleared out. Go down to that panel that I just videoed, make sure it works properly and that all the other lights work. If that doesn't work, then the issue is with the controller, and that's a whole nother headache. This is the panels that control all the lights. So they're the power units. All of these power units are for the lights and the dimmers. This Savant power unit that's been changed twice is for the power relay for the outside parking lot lights and the small fountain. And if for some reason that doesn't work, there's a small fuse right here that has a tendency of burning out extra fuses. You'll know because this green light will be off. And if the fuse doesn't fix it, that means that this power relay is bad, and you're going to have to either order one on eBay because they don't exist anymore, or call an electrician. These are all of the circuit breaker panels for everything that's in the ballroom. So these circuit breaker panels, when something pops, it's generally 2 or 3 of them during parties because they've got too many things plugged in. And you have to remember with these circuit breakers, especially these, some will be soft. You're not going to know that they're popped. So you got to run your hand down and make sure, and if they're soft, pop them back, and it'll work like most relays. This is the AV panel for all of the stereo, projector, microphone equipment. All of the equipment from here down stays on. Power supply stays on. The we never shut that off. That way the computer's always on. This is the microphone control. It's on right now. We always leave it on. The microphone is in this bag underneath it. It's a 9-volt battery. Turn it on and it'll work corresponding all the way through the ballroom. Turn it off. Set it back up. The computer is here and the screen is in the back. We use the computer if there's an issue with one of the panels, Crestron panels, and they can program it, which we're going to have to do because one of the Crestron panels went bad and they're going to have to replace it. DirecTV, satellite 1 and 2, and Blu-ray. I leave them off normally unless we're using them. If you need to use them with the panel that we're going to show you, the Crestron panel, you just turn them on and they'll be available for the projector and the screen. AV panel. This is the Crestron panel that controls the AV system.
It's blurry. Okay, sorry.
So you hit four times, hit enter, and you have audio, video, and area. So video, it shows what you have, and when you push this button, the projector and the screen come down. And when you want to hook the projector and the screen to the console, you push projector and then Blu-ray or which satellite you want to use. So if you're playing a movie, you hit Blu-ray and you hit go and it'll go onto the screen. Now if you want to watch TV, you hit the projector, you hit the satellite you're watching, and you hit go and it'll go onto the screen. And then when you want, wherever you want it to play, the sound of it, you would hit, let's say you want it in the ballroom, you would hit ballroom, go, and then the sound would be in the ballroom. Now, if you're wanting to use the microphone in the ballroom or any other rooms, you hit microphone, ballroom, terrace, hallway, go, and when the microphone's been in use, it will play in those areas. But this is how you turn the volumes up in those areas. So the up and down and mute, and there are all the areas, hallway, and then you can go back and you can mute them all and then just only turn the ballroom on 1 or 2, and that way the microphone's only in the ballroom, so you can control it in more than one way. So you have to remember that wherever you want the volume for whatever's playing, you have to physically choose it. So I want my microphone to work in the ballroom, the terrace, and the hall. I have to choose it and then go to area to get the volumes in there, and it'll work. Alright, so this is the piano in the ballroom, and the ballroom piano has its own iPad. It says ADS on the back. 4021, that's how you get into it when you first open it up. And then after it's opened up, it opens up to the icons. You go to entertainment, QRS piano, which is the piano. You open it up, kind of like your iPhone, and it'll open up to the loading page, and it will load, and it's like an iPod. You can pick songs, albums, however you want. So if you pick an album, you hit on the album and it'll go to that song, which obviously it's only one. You hit play. So you would pause, or stop. That's stop, this is pause. And you control the volume on this no matter what. You'll have master volume, and you can go up and down, you can mute it. So you can control the volume on the... Now if this doesn't come up to that page, in the iPad I have this paper written out. It's got the directions, how to reset it back to a default. There's a technical person's phone number, but the best way to do it on the bottom, if you can't get this to come up, if you can't get that when you hit QRS PNO, if it doesn't come up and start loading, and you went back, you've defaulted it on the settings, and you still can't get it to come up, there's a computer underneath the piano. You just reboot it, you unplug it, and you plug it back in, and it sends Wi-Fi signal from that computer, and you're getting this Wi-Fi signal to the piano.
So where is it on the piano?
I keep the computer in the office unless Mr. Sino wants it. Also, once you've gotten in, and let's say somebody lost this piece of paper, I have it in photos, a picture of this piece of paper right there.
Okay.
So all the information is in this. So all you would need to get in it is the 4021 when you first open it up. Tell me when it's on.
It's on.
Alright, this is the freezer refrigerator called the Trolson.
Right next to
When it's not running, keep all the doors open because it'll get funky. But when you want it on, this is the switch. You just turn it on, it'll automatically go and then set itself. If it doesn't, you have to go into the file room, or the office, and in a file is a Trolson manual, and it shows you how to reset it. That's how you turn it on. All of these are self-explanatory. The cooler, on the other hand, has to be turned on inside. So there's a light at the door. The switch to turn it on is inside the cooler. Turn it on, it comes on. Turn it off, also leave the door open when it's not in use. And inside the closet is the access for it if necessary, if there's any issues, which more than likely there's not. You can access the top of the cooler there. Also set the temperature, but you don't have to because it's already set. It should automatically go. You'll know because once the cooler's on, it should take about 3 hours, and here's the gauge to tell you the temperature, and it'll run proper temperature for cooler. Lamps that pull down, there's a bar inside this closet that controls the heat lamps for pulling them up and down. You just hook them on there and you pull them down, and they'll stay in whatever position. And right over here is how you turn them on. And every time you touch it, it'll say a time. So you can have them on for an hour, have them on for 2 or 4. That controls it. If this goes out, it's more than likely because the breaker plug that's over there has gone out because it controls that. So you got to make sure these breaker plugs, GFCIs, are functioning properly, or you're not going to get that to work. So this is the LED panel for the whole property for the security system, and when there's a door open or there's fire, one of the lights come on so you know where it is. This is the test, so it shows all the lights, but the green lights are for doors and windows, the red lights are for fire, and the blue lights are for glass breakage, or if people are walking through the ballroom you can actually see their path because the blue lights will come on. As you can see, the door that's open between the house and the ballroom, and when you open a door, a light should come on. They're fairly delayed, and they're also delayed closing. But this is the door light for the garage, and there's a panel right here for setting, going in and out. It's also got the phone number if there's an issue. But if this door is open and you try to set it, it'll tell you that check area 1 because there's a door open, it won't set. When it's ready to set, it'll say all ready. That means all doors are closed. It says, see, number 1 is faulted, and you can check it out and find out where it is, but you can just turn around and look at the panel and say, oh, that door's open. So if you're setting this anywhere in the house, leaving the ballroom or leaving the front door or leaving the kitchen door, and this does this, all you have to do is walk to the panel and say, oh, this door's open. I need to close it, and then wait for all the lights to go out, and it'll say all ready on the panel, and then you can set the security system. It shows it has faulted. You just hit exit. It says not ready to arm. That means that this door is open. And when you're testing it and you exit, you have to put in your code. But you'll find that out when you're testing it.
Just to let you know where we're at, we're in the room upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs, bedroom, going into the attic to the mechanical room. So this is the phone system, recently installed. The only thing you really have to do here is make sure that the backup power has a green light. There's a battery inside the backup power. Just make sure that it functions properly. The circuit breakers and the light touch panels are all in this room. The circuit breakers you normally have to deal with would be the ones that are on this wall, because when you test the backup electric with the generator, sometimes it pops a breaker inside the garage, and this will be where the breaker is. Watch your step. Pay attention. This is the central command, where the command is for the security, and there's also backup power. So this is the backup batteries. Also, you got to check for backup battery power, because there's little batteries inside those surge protectors. So they not only surge protect, but they back up. So this is the security system, and this is also a command panel, just like the other panel. And there's watch.
I see it.
It also says not ready to arm, because that same door is open between the ballroom and the kitchen, and you can do everything here. It also has the account number and pack integrations number for maintenance, which you'll have on a list. And then this is the computer right here that controls when they want to come in and change any functions. This is probably one of the important ones. Is bring the camera up here so you can see this where my finger is. You might not be able to read it, but that LED panel I showed you, if it starts freaking out, this is how you reset it. You stand here, hold it for 10 seconds. I hold it for 20 seconds, and then within 15 minutes it should reset. If it doesn't, then you got to come back and do it again, and that'll reset the LED panel that was in the beginning of the video.
Okay, kitchen, desk.
Kitchen. This is the kitchen. There's video of the gate, and to open the gate, there's a button on the wall, and it opens the gate. You'll be able to see the gates opening, and then over here where the sound is, you can turn off the sound. On the switch that has the red light will turn the sound off. So if you're holding the gate open for a party, you need to come turn this off, or it's just going to be annoying. We always leave it on. We always want it left on. This is the controller for the spa. The controller for the spa, and you can see it's in cleaning mode, and you can control it from here and also in the pool room, or the pool house, and underneath the pool where all the controlling panels are. This is the controller for the wine cellar cooler.
Wait, where are you?
You can turn the temperature up and down with the controller, or turn it off. It's on all the time and controls to a temperature. This panel controls all of the lights that go down the driveway, and also the lights that are on the side of the house, the directional lights. Okay, so go on to this. This is the disconnect for the generator, which is down in that building. And when we lose power, This switch switches over and gives us power from the generator. To test it this is the tester right here.
I've turned it sideways. Should I keep it this way?
Keep it that way.
Okay, sorry.
The tester is here, which you would test this and also turn the generator on, and it'll switch over. Right now these green lights are telling you that it's in normal, which means normal is you're getting electricity from PG&E. You hold this button down for 15 seconds, the generator starts, you'll see the power coming now from the generator, and the switch switches over.
I heard it. It scared me.
So now you're running all the power to this end of the house from the generator, and it runs for 15 minutes and shuts itself off. It will switch the power automatically back to PG&E, and the generator will run for 5 minutes to cool down. And then these lights will go back to normal.